Good morning, 9:05 on Monday, November 10th, or Monday, 10th of November, whichever you prefer. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Get the UK's best used car deals guaranteed. I'm Jeff Stelling. We'll have Everton manager David Moyes with us from 9:30 this morning. And the superstar breakfast has just gathered a little bit more stardust because this iconic talkSPORT voice has joined us in the studio.
Seen the documentary, right? I mean, imagine him getting down for breakfast in the morning. Family, where's breakfast, guys? Where is it? Come on, we're standard. The ball is still out there, and I'm not comfortable with that at all. I mean, the ball has been left out there like it's not important. Get the ball in.
Oh, what's up, babe?
Do you call me babe?
I said Aid.
Oh,
I want to call you babe. I don't know you that well.
You know you're not talking to Adrian Durham, don't you, Neil?
Yeah, no. I might have got that wrong then.
I've had to have emergency dental surgery this morning. I thought, there's no way I'm missing this show. No way am I missing the chance to talk about a goal that wasn't, that should have been, and Arsenal being rubbish. So, yeah, the mouth doesn't look great at the moment, but I am here, John, and I'm coming loud and clear through your speakers.
Yeah, the man who watches more football than anyone else in the world, Ali McCoist included. Adrian Durham is with us. Morning, Aid.
Morning, Jeff. It's so good to be here. And I've just got a little message for Ali while he's on his way to meet Carlo. Gaza was never a substitute. Okay? He was never a substitute. And he was slightly better at football than me.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, mate. Look, before we talk about the top end of the pyramid, if you like, your lot, Posh, appointed a new manager. Goodness me, could not have got off to a better start. 5-0 first league game at the weekend and a cup win before that.
And 2 clean sheets, which we didn't think that was possible as Peterborough fans with the squad that we've got. It's not so much that, you know, the manager has come in and done this. He's done it with the same players because I think we were all thinking this squad is terrible. The chairman had said it's a top 6 squad. And I said, what, top 6 National League North? I mean, it looks like a terrible squad, and they played like a terrible squad. And all of a sudden, Luke Williams, who I've described, so I messaged him saying, you are some sort of football magician. He's just got clean sheets and goals. He's even got our non-goal scoring striker scoring goals at the weekend. Everything's going great, but it's either new manager bounce or it's here to stay. So let's see. But if he can take them from bottom to playoffs, is that possible? Who knows in League One?
Yeah, anything can happen. I tell you what I liked about Luke Williams is that when he was out of football, he went and worked, I think it was at Bristol Airport. And just to keep your feet on the ground and be able to take a normal job says a lot about him, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, to work at an airport and keep your feet on the ground, that's something. But I just love the fact that he's just done that. He wanted to put something back in. He didn't need the money. He wanted to do a job where it was rewarding for him and for others as well. And I think that's my kind of guy. He seems like a really good bloke, and it seems like a really good fit.
Yeah, I hope it continues to go well.
I'm going to see them tomorrow at Crawley in the Virtue, which we always win.
Right.
And
okay.
against
there'll be at least another 200 there.
Yeah, at home to Stockport a week on Thursday.
Ah, well, that's more of a test. Stockport, big setback for them at the weekend, beaten at home by Luton. Let's talk about the top of the Premier League then, and City against Liverpool specifically. I mean, look, no fluke in the scoreline. City 4 points behind Arsenal. How concerned should Arsenal be?
They should be looking over their shoulders because City do look good. What you and Ali were saying earlier about Haaland and if they lose him, there's a problem. That sentence came just after you'd reeled off all the subs.
Yeah.
Now, and they have got an incredible squad, but have they got another goal scorer even remotely close to half of what Haaland is?
No.
Probably not. So
definitely not.
That could be a problem. But let's assume he stays fit, then Arsenal do have a big problem. And I think how Arsenal respond after the international break to a setback where they didn't just drop points, they conceded 2 goals. And I think we're all thinking their defence was invincible. We were all thinking it's going to be so hard to score against them, and Sunderland go and score 2 and get a point off them. So I think how Arsenal respond to that is going to be interesting. If it's the same old Arteta Arsenal, then they'll keep dropping points and they'll crumble and they won't win the league. But they've looked the best team so far.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are suggesting that showed some vulnerability in Arsenal, but it's one game, and we shouldn't underestimate how difficult it is to go to the Stadium of Light.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere there, I was there first day of the season when they beat West Ham. I've been there a couple of times since, and I'm not joking, that atmosphere, I'm not a big believer in the crowds, you know, give you a goal or give you a head start or whatever, because the crowd can be great, but sometimes that puts players under pressure. That crowd, though, are totally and 100% with the players, and I do think it adds something. There's something the manager, and in particular Granit Xhaka, helped develop there, which is a togetherness with everybody, including the crowd, and I think it really does help them. It's a brilliant atmosphere. And this guy at the back, Dan Ballard, is just it's sensational. Here's a question, though. He was born in Stevenage. He's got 29 Northern Ireland caps. If he had waited... Now, listen, he may feel Northern Irish through and through, and in which case, fine. But if he waited, given Mark Gahey being out this week, might he have got a call-up? We'll never know.
My view is that he probably would have done.
Yeah.
You know, he has been one of the standout performers, not just for Sunderland this season, but in the Premier League this season, in my view. And the block, not just his goal, the block at the end was just brilliant. And it typified everything that's Sunderland.
Yeah, absolutely right. And everything that you have to do when you come up to stay in the Premier League. They're not just staying in the Premier League, they're flourishing at the moment, fourth in the table, aren't they? So,
brilliant.
Absolutely incredible. Yeah.
But, of course, Liverpool. Look, we had a difference of opinion. Coisty thinks there's still a chance that they could defend their title. I think it's all over as far as they're concerned. Where do you stand?
Yeah, it's done, isn't it? You can't see... Right, they've got to catch up with Arsenal. Now, Arsenal are not going to crumble like they normally do, okay? They may drop points, but I can't see them crumbling like they normally do. So Liverpool have got to make up that gap of 8 points. So that's 3 wins, and Arsenal have got to drop points at the same time as well. Man City have also got to drop points. There's only 4 points the gap, but they looked far inferior. Now, are these signings going to suddenly click? I don't think so. You know, it's just one of those things that Liverpool have dropped off from where they were last season. And it happens. The Joe versus Joe call earlier was absolutely sensational. Plant pots are quite useful, by the way. I will point that out. But I cannot see Liverpool winning the title. I would say they're definitely out of it. Not because, you know, they can't win games or can't amass points, but it's because the teams above them, particularly Arsenal and Man City, I think it's a 2-horse race, by the way. Arsenal and Man City, I think that's it. They're not going to drop enough points for Liverpool to get back in it.
I mean, Joe won. He wanted Arne Slot out. But is he in a minority amongst Liverpool fans, do you think?
Well, what you've got to remember is that the owners have allowed Richard Hughes to go and buy all these players and spend a huge amount of money, okay? Now, as we've seen at Norwich, who goes first? The fans were calling for the director of football to go at the weekend, Ben Napper. Liam Manning has gone. That was always, I said it on Saturday, Manning's going to go before the director of football. The same thing will happen at Liverpool. Now, I can't see it happening anytime soon because he's, as you rightly pointed out, he's got in the bank a Premier League trophy. He won the Premier League in his first season, which not even Pep did. So I can't see him being sacked. However, he will be scrutinised because so much money has been spent. And if at the end of the season, they haven't got Europe next season, if they're not in the Champions League next season, I think that his position will be reviewed. I really do.
Obviously, one of the talking points, and nobody knows what would have made any difference or not, was the disallowed Virgil van Dijk goal. Now, I felt it should have stood. Chris Foy said a moment or two ago that it was very subjective. Where do you stand?
It cannot be a goal. It cannot be allowed to stand. And here's the reason, right? Van Dijk heads it towards Robertson. Okay, it's on Robertson. Robertson is on that side, and it goes towards Robertson to the point where Robertson has to duck. Okay, and that for me is key. He's got to duck to avoid the ball. All right, it's not in the line of vision, but he's impacting what's going on. He's had to duck. Why is Robertson standing there? It's to put off the keeper. He's not standing there because he wants to be offside. He's not standing there because he wants to tap it in. He's standing there to put the keeper off. So because he's doing that, it
did not prevent Donnarumma from, attempting to save it. And if you listen to Jamie Carragher, who in this case is obviously completely unbiased, Donnarumma's weight was on his other foot at the time. There was no way he could have got back across to stop that.
That to me cannot come into it because, the linos, the VAR officials, they are not football experts and certainly not goalkeeping experts who can decide, his weight's there, so he's not going to get to it. That can't come into it at all, okay? What I would say is that if it goes the other side, if Van Dijk heads it the other side, it's definitely a goal, okay? Even though Robertson's in an offside position, but because it goes towards him and he ducks, I think that you have to disallow that goal. And bear this in mind as well. Was he late getting to it? And you talk about the weight being on his foot, and that might well have been the reason. But was he late getting to it because he didn't know if Robertson, in his corner of his eye, is Robertson going to head it the other side? Have I got to stay in this position long enough to know if he's going to head it the other side? So that, I think it impacts him definitely. So you have to rule the goal out.
Look, whatever the case, there's no question City were by far the better side on the day, thoroughly deserved their victory. Johnny in Bedford's just text. He said, Brian Clough said if he's not interfering with play, shouldn't be on the pitch. The Van Dijk goal was rightly ruled offside and interfering with play. Thank you very much indeed, Johnny. Aid, coming up, we'll turn our attention to the other end of the table and we'll ask the question of Daniel Farker on borrowed time at Leeds. We'll discuss that next.